All right. Looks like we are live. Another episode of the Bash Brothers podcast. Got Deputy Smitty here hanging out with me. Gonna get us a little jam going till we get everybody locked and loaded in here. Once we get Bobby on over here, we'll go ahead and get everything started. Got folks coming in. Smitty, we got a bunch of follows just now. I assume Bobby was touting the page a little bit.
That's a big W.
It's always a good
I
thing.
appreciate it. Let me see here.
There we go. Vicky, what up? How are you doing? Vicky W with the first comment in the chat. Tay Jenkins coming in. Tier 1 subscription. Thank you, Tay. We appreciate that. Deals, let's go. Fear lovely lady, how are you doing? What up, guys? Tuesday. RS Lane, you got that right. Marshmallow, thank you for the Tier 1 subscription. You don't know how much we thank you for that. G Stiletti, happy Tuesday. Aaron, what's up? Yeah, that one guy. Yeah, get the haircut, little beard trim. Fear lovely lady, you're good. Awesome. That's phenomenal. What up? Ace Boom. Welcome in. First time chat. Welcome in. We appreciate it.
Love to see it.
We appreciate all the follows that are coming in. We love you guys. We just want to kind of be able to provide something that's helpful for you guys. Sorry for getting that all over your screen there. We just want to provide something that's a little bit helpful, a little bit different.
That one guy, I'm great. How are you, brother?
Richard, what's up? Tuesday. Jason Knight, you know it. You know it every Tuesday. We're going to start coming in. Nordy, you going to come in or you just going to hang? There we go. Nordy's here.
Look,
he's muted up.
He's muted. Don't know it.
Zach D pumped up for tonight. What's up? Richard, I got you. Just chilling. That's what we're here to do. We're here to hang out, chill out a little bit. Moody Girl, thank you for that Tier 1 subscription. RS Lane, you as well. Thank you for that Tier 1 subscription. Y'all don't know how much that means to us, how much it helps us out.
Bless his heart, Marshmallow says. Nordy, welcome in, baby. How are you?
I'm great.
Jacob, what's up, brother? Nordy's doing good.
You've been cuddling on that couch back there, Nordy. I see the blanket. Okay.
The blanket hasn't moved in a week.
Okay.
He over there comes home and he turns on the news and gets that blanket with his cup of coffee.
That's right. He loves
I don't drink coffee. I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee at all?
Nope, but I do watch the news. Smitty's got that right.
I know. That Wisconsin Channel 4 news comes on.
Channel 15.
Channel 15.
Channel 15. I don't even... Channel 15 down here.
Callie, what's up?
Some paid programming stuff or I don't know. It's junk. Oh.
I won't be in here long, though.
Where you going?
I got to go to the airport.
Oh, where you going?
Where you going?
Can't tell you.
Aeropuerto? You flying out?
Are you flying or are you picking up?
I can't tell you.
Nordy. Picking up his mommy is what Fear Lovely Lady says. You know that's the truth. He's a family man now, Johnny. Come on. He can't tell all his secrets.
You're going to the airport tonight or in the morning?
Richard, I'm good, brother.
Tonight, 8:30.
8:30?
8:30? That's like 30 minutes.
Yeah, how far is the airport from your house?
I'm picking someone up.
How far is the airport from your house?
About 30 minutes.
You're going to be about 4 minutes late.
I'm so tired already.
Oh, me. Man, we appreciate y'all. Got that level 2 hype train rocking and rolling 22%. We can't thank you enough for that. Hey, fellas. 1993, what's up? Just waiting on Bobby to come in. Just wait on Bobby. Once Bobby gets in, we'll get this thing rocking and rolling. Have y'all talked to Bobby today? Is he good?
Yep. He knows.
Nordy says, yeah.
What's up, Dion? So how's the week been? How's the week been since last Tuesday? How have we been since last Tuesday?
Since last Tuesday?
Since the last podcast, yeah. How have we been? Anything different? Good week? Stressful week?
Yeah, it's been great for me, man. We've just just the same old kind of stuff. Cruising right along.
I heard
So
that.
work.
I see Johnny got that shirt in. I love it.
Y'all checking out
Yep.
that Officer Nordness gear.
That Nordy.
That Nordy gear.
I put
It
on
does-
Bobby's tonight.
You put on Bobby's holding it down with the
Uh-oh.
VRG. Come on with it.
When the BRG.
Roy, thank you for that
Oh,
resub
man.
for 1 month, man. We appreciate that. A lot of follows coming in. We appreciate y'all. Darnell got Bobby caught up issuing weapons licenses at MRPD. Oh my gosh.
Holy Black Cow, what is up? Jonathan, first time chatter, says, what's up, you guys? And Dravian Bash Rosa, what is up?
Panic
What's
Mosquito
up?
with a subscription to Tier 1. Mike coming in with a Tier 1 subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate that. That's your first gift in the channel. We appreciate that, brother.
Hey, Panic, I missed this the first time I saw it come through, but Panic subscribed 3 months in advance at Tier 1. Thank you so much.
Tier 1. We appreciate
I did not see that the first time. We got Sly Dog in the building. What's up, baby? Y'all are some amazing creators. We appreciate that. Thank you so much, Cheese. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Young Stoney, first time chatter as well, says, what's up, brothers?
Now we got that Bobby Raid coming in. Thank you, guys. Bobby Raid, Gray Raid coming in. Keep them follows coming. Logan with the resubscription for 1 month for Tier 1. We appreciate that, brother. Appreciate the support for 4 months.
Steady Bear with a daggum Tier 1 for 4 months. Thank you so much, Steady Bear, as well.
We appreciate y'all. Y'all that have supported us for 4 months, y'all. We're gonna keep it moving. We've started weekly, and we're dedicated to that. So we appreciate y'all. Big Sexy Trucker, thank you for coming in for that 1 month subscription.
Smitty got himself a new place. This is actually the same. I did get a new spot, but I'm actually in the same spot right now. This is my old setup.
When are you moving everything over?
Tomorrow. I got my desk put together today. The rest of my desk should be there. Not the rest of my desk, but my PC. Like the little PC mount thing for the desk. I got a monitor arm. I only got one of those for right now though, because I wanted just to mount my gaming. Because my other ones kind of are out of the way as it is. I want to see if I need one for those two. So I just bought one for now. But all that should be there tomorrow. And so tomorrow morning I'm coming back to this house at like probably 9 a.m. and I'm gonna move the rest over to the new house, and we should be rocking and rolling.
Desk. I love the desk.
You got one too.
Johnny got, right?
Oh yeah, same thing.
Yep. Didn't know I had to be Macho Man just to move it up the stairs. I mean, that is one heavy piece of equipment.
I had to tumble mine up the stairs. The box was completely broken by the time I got it. It was awful. That thing weighs like 100.
Bobby.
It is.
I see you're just chilling,
heavy.
brother.
What's that?
I see you're just chilling today.
I had to tinkle.
No, you got a little thing right there.
Oh yeah,
and just says
chilling.
just chilling.
I'm just kind of glad that nobody played my fart sound coming straight in.
Oh yeah,
that's
we
nice.
we missed the ball on that.
You won't get any more fart Snapchats. I can tell you that.
Missed a good chance of doing that.
Fire guy, thank you for that Tier 1, baby. We appreciate that.
People asking if me and Nordy are brothers. No, we are not brothers.
Yes, you are.
Well, I mean, we are
brothers from another mother.
From another mother. But no, we are not brothers. We should be though. And I would be really probably closer to Nordy's dad's age than his brother.
Drop the link on the desk. If you just go to Secret Lab, I don't have the link like right here on me, but if you just go to Secret Labs and click on their desk, it's right there.
We'll get you a link too. If you're in Smithers or Steven's Discord, they have discount codes too. So make sure you get in if you want the link to the desk. It's Secret Lab, and it's the big stand-up desk. But if you want a discount, it's Smithers or Steven up.
Yes, that's actually true. I forgot all about that. Even though I used them, I forgot about it just now.
Razor, thank you for the 20 bits. Fire Guy, thank you for the 1 month. Roddy, thank you for the 1 month. That Hype Train level 3 coming through. Well, folks, we got Mikey. He's been waiting on us. He's been here since 9. He's been waiting on Bobby to go potty and everything. So
he has.
I'm excited. I'm really
Blame
excited.
Blame me.
Blame me. Nordy says he's really excited. I'm excited. This is awesome. I think this may be the first time. I know they had the previous director on a different podcast back, many moons ago when other people were doing it, but I'm not sure I've seen Mikey on any podcast. So this will be good to bring Mikey in and kind of talk to him about the things of TARP, and maybe he'll give us some insight. Maybe
And
he'll
for
give
those
us.
of y'all that don't know, this guy kills it. So
Oh, phenomenal. Let's go. I'll go ahead and give you an introduction to Mikey. Mikey is currently the director of the Academy of Roleplay, but not only is he that, he helps Tony. He's basically manages Tony's personal stuff. And then he also is the director of Serve First. And I think that's the most important position that he holds, because one of the things that he does is he plans everything that happens at Serve First. He plans all the events, from the kickball to the ice cream to the bike event. And if y'all saw how well planned out these things are, the itineraries are minute by minute. He knows what's going to happen. It's planned out. I mean, it's really a well-oiled machine, and it's all.
Sorry, John. I thought you was even goes as far as like to the dinners for everybody. It's on a time schedule, and when we get there, he's in charge, and it's just bam, 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 and
the itineraries he makes are for everyone. They're not just for certain people.
No, they're for Tony. They're for Tony, but we try to join in. And
we
jump
try
in
to
on
stick
it
to it.
Yeah, we jump in on them too.
Johnny, that was for you if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
I know.
He knows that one's not going to end until next year.
Yeah, Fire Guy, thank you for the 1 month subscription. Rodium, I think I already hit you. Thank you for the resubscription again. Dev Dog, again, thank you for the resubscription. We appreciate y'all coming in. Well, let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's bring in Mikey, and let's pull him in. Mikey, I think you'll have to redo your camera. For some reason, it turns it off when we drop you in.
Mikey. Oh, we can't hear him.
We can't hear him. No, we can't hear you. Let's see.
You really can't.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There it is. We got you. Chaz,
I mean, trust me. I have audio issues every freaking day. So
you're like, wait, what?
Don't tell me this.
Man,
What's up,
well,
fellas?
we appreciate you joining us, man. This is
Absolutely,
cool.
I appreciate it.
I was telling all the guys I've been pumped about it. Nordy's been pumped about it too. So we came in, like, so I was telling everybody else, I don't think have you been on another podcast like previously? Were you on as like the assistant director of the prior podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw that episode, but I couldn't remember. I guess I couldn't remember it being on there. So
Yeah.
so we're not the first, but
Not the
it's
first,
fine.
but I mean, look at all the
We're
hits
the
in
we're
in
the
room
latest,
now,
right?
You know, like right, exactly.
So, okay. So I was telling everybody before you came in that you kind of handle a lot of stuff. You wear a lot of hats. First off, you're the director of TARP, which is how most of us have some sort of contact with you. Second of all, you manage Tony's stuff. Third of all, you handle everything Serve First related. So to get started, how do you juggle all the hats? How are you able to go, hey, I'm handling this now, while keeping it all very smooth and clean?
My day starts at 4 a.m. That's not even a lie, man. Between this and then IRL, right? I put in a lot of hours personally, but it's something I truly absolutely love and enjoy doing. There's a lot of stuff that happens, as some of you guys know, right? That happens behind the scenes. A lot of stuff happens behind the scenes that helps not only the server, but Serve First, Tony's business, Serve First Foundation, and there's it takes everybody working together, but it does take a lot of hours that a lot of people don't get to see because it happens behind the scenes.
Yeah. And so, okay. So I want to kind of take you back. So that's what you do. That's kind of the good intro. So tell us how you got started. Most everybody found Tony on TikTok. Is that the same way you made your way in? And then how did you get from that point to where you are now?
Yep. So about 2.5
Chaz, thank you for
years
the 5
ago,
gifted subs. We really appreciate it.
I one night was on TikTok flipping through, and I'm originally from West Virginia, so I grew up in West Virginia. At the time, I was living in South Carolina, and was flipping through. That's right. Was flipping through TikTok, and I just happened to catch this goofy guy saying something about that he was a police officer.
Still got that hype train going. Thank you.
What? Where? So I started watching.
D-Coon, I see that
he didn't really
resubscription.
mention
Thank you,
anything
brother.
else about it, but truly, I immediately was like immersed in the content that was going on. It was hilarious, and so I kept watching for a little bit. I couldn't figure out, I'll age myself a little bit. It had been, like 25, 30 maybe years since I played a video game. I had no idea that there was such thing as GTA on PC and a modded server that, you were able to be police officers and 911 dispatchers and that's what got me is there was a dispatcher that was on, and Tony was, talking about, how much he really appreciated it, and that's where I started my emergency service career, was in 911, and I kind of got hooked right then. I just started watching him, and literally within 2 weeks, I watched religiously, was trying to pick up on things, and decided after that, I'm like, I want to be a part of this. Like, I wanted to go be a 911 dispatcher, and so I started that process. Went out, bought a PC, applied to the academy, and I got in and literally had no idea how to play GTA, in this form, and that still shows today on my streams. So
No. No, that's cool. So I was kind of the same way. So I don't think I saw Tony at the very first GTA like stream that I saw. It was a dispatch stream, and it had a guy. He had kind of like a camera behind him, and it was his setup and him dispatching and things on different screens. And I'm like, at first I thought this is real. He's really like I'm watching some guy, in Iowa dispatch. And then I heard him talking like, all these different crazy scenes happening. I'm like, well, a little town in Iowa is not going to get this much action. And so I had to figure out, I was the same way. Like I had to figure out, I was like, can you go in and like just dispatch for these things? And so like they had, the little, I don't even remember the server, but they had like the little tagline down at the bottom as to what server it was. And so I looked it up, and of course, like you don't find, like, unless you're kind of you don't just Google, whatever roleplay server, because there's not much out there to help you. So I searched as much as I could, and then I was like, all right, I'm done. This is really a waste of time. And then that's when I saw Tony streaming one day, and he was like, join my Discord. That's really basically the easiest way to figure it out. Join my Discord, and then you can get all the information from there. So I
didn't even know what Discord was. I mean, I got into Discord and I was freaking. I'm still like, I can't open a ticket. I've tried to do things like, mod assistant, whatever I could do. And I'm like, they're like, open a ticket on this guy. I'm like, no, I don't know how. I wish I could. I'm so dumb when I can't even spell PC. So
that's awesome.
It's wild.
I'm the exact same way. I mean, I deleted Discord off my phone. I was like, it's going off too much. I don't like this. Get it off my phone. I mean, I had no idea. It was my nephews, who's obviously much younger than me. They were the ones when I first started getting my PC, when I first started talking about streaming, it was like, you need to download this. And one of them was Discord. And I was like, what is Discord? And I'm looking, I had no idea what it was. Zero clue. My Discord personally that's actually my second one. The first one I just deleted. I was like, I'm tired of this thing. You get it off. I deleted it.
Right.
And so, but yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely a learning experience. As a matter of fact, when I joined TARP, and we were actually just talking about this a little bit earlier, it was exciting. So when I first came in, obviously, had to create the characters, had really no idea what I was doing. I wanted to be a dispatcher, but came in as just a regular character and was trying to meet people. And at this time, it was exciting if there was 30 people in. So imagine how hard it was to like find people, get to know people. A lot of the people that were already in, like were familiar with.
They knew each other.
They were
gaming,
clicked up.
right?
They were clicked up and ready to
right. And I mean, if you came up to them, you were, done real quick. So it was tough. But I got hired into dispatch, and the very first night that I dispatched, and again, I came from 911. I dispatched for 15 years, and after that stream, I was still very new to TARP, and I'd finished the stream. I was so nervous. I'm like, man, I hope I didn't mess up. I know that I was on Tony's, stream, in the background, and blah 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 blah. And so I finished it. I went outside to my back patio, sat down in my chair, and all of a sudden, Discord starts ringing. I'd never had a call on Discord before, and it was Officer Messer, and I was like, oh. I'm like, they're throwing me out of the server. He's calling to tell me I'm not allowed on the server anymore. Like, what did I do? I was freaking out. And I actually didn't even answer it. I was too scared and like literally handshaking that I didn't answer it. And I called him back.
Thank you for that
and he
five
was like,
gifted, brother. We greatly appreciate
somebody,
that, man. Thank
or you don't answer when somebody calls you. And I was like, sir, how can I help you? And, he was like, are you a dispatcher? And I was like, yeah, I used to dispatch. And he was like, I want to help, get you in and I need some help, making some videos. This is when he was, really trying to grow his social media. And he was like, I'd love to, to get you in. And as a matter of fact, like the next night we ended up making a couple clips, outside of the city for his stuff. And from there, it's just grown, man.
That's cool. That's cool. So the first night you dispatched, he called you on Discord. That's really cool.
Scared.
I remember that story. It's always a good story. Yeah, I do remember that one.
All right, so let's segue out of that. You brought up your characters, so let's go to characters for a little bit. What was your first character in the city?
I'm going to be honest. The first character was Mikey Wolfey.
Okay.
And I didn't know at that time that I wasn't allowed to get in trouble because I wanted to use Mikey Wolfey as my dispatch character.
Yes.
Okay.
So I got in. This was another great one. About 4 days in, I was driving past Yellow Jack, and there was a traffic stop that was on the side of the road. I was still trying to learn. I didn't have a
Push Light. Thank you for that resubscription. We greatly appreciate it.
And
Thank
we're still
you.
trying to figure out, everything. And I'm so focused on the traffic stop that was happening because I hadn't seen one of those before in game. That when I was driving by,
Nazelli with a follow and the subscription.
Like
Thank you.
I'm like gawking at what's happening, and I veered over to the right and almost hit the officer. Next thing I know, bling, bling, on Discord, Mikey Wolfey's in a ticket, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like here we go. And
so was it cop baiting? Was that your first ticket?
So they thought that I was trying to RDM or VDM, and I was like, no, I'm just 4 days in, and I have no idea how to drive.
What is VDM?
Right? Yeah. So it got cleared up, but that also like plays into where we're at now that we can get to of. I came in not knowing what in the heck I was doing. And I thought, man, like as I saw this grow, it was like, what can we do to help people that is so excited that they see, these streamers doing great content. It's fun. They want to join. They go out, they spend, a couple grand on equipment, and they join in and they don't know how to play, and what can we do to help that? And that's what I wish I would have had back then when I started.
Yeah, that's the truth. Okay, so Mikey Wolfey was your first character.
Yep.
And so you dispatched with Mikey Wolfey first, right?
Yep, dispatched with Mikey Wolfey. Then very original, but there was Mike Wolf.
Okay.
He came next. He got hired into BCSO.
Okay.
I want to think that I was in BCSO for a week or so. And I wanted to do fire rescue. So I wanted to do safer. So I ended up going over. Actually, the Mike Wolf character stuck with BCSO.
There it is, Big Wow. See that resubscription,
like
brother.
Trainings
Thank you.
and all that was much different back then. The onboarding within a department, and I got in. I had another character. I honestly don't remember the name that did SAFR. Shortly after all of that is when LSPD was actually opening up. They were just creating LSPD.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, it was Chief Slivers and Deputy Chief Messer. And I was asked to come and help do like the administrative part of that. So that character left BCSO, went over to LSPD, and was the lieutenant of administration. So basically, I typed all the documents up in the background and got people into training and helped set.
So what was your role as LSPD? What was your first role there? What was your first position?
First role, first role
rank.
was lieutenant.
Okay.
So yeah, lieutenant of administration.
Okay.
Under Chief Slivers.
I'm still waiting to get put over public relations. I don't know what's taking so long, but
we're not putting you over public relations.
What's that face for?
I think you'd be great.
I think you'd be great. Yeah. I've been begging for it. I just don't know what's going on. They're like, they're avoiding it like the plague.
Chief Falcon has a good way of doing things. All right. So Slivers was chief, and then who's chief after him? Is that you?
That was me.
Okay.
Yep.
So he got busy with IRL work, right? Started working night shifts and some different shifts.
Yep. Yeah, he got busy, different schedule. And Tony, of course, was working crazy like a madman, trying to grow his stream, trying to build the foundation and everything of that nature. And
he's IRL becoming a K9 officer too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, I took over. I got promoted to chief. I was already at that time in a staff position as well. And so I was really hesitant, should I do this? And what brought that on, still being new to the city was I was actually in IRL. I was a director of Homeland Security in 911. So I ran, agency. I worked with IRL agencies, and kind of felt like that, hey, I could bring a little bit of IRL experience here, to the department and try to carry on what Tony and Steven really wanted, the department to do.
Yeah. Okay. So I still want to follow the character timeline, but I want to give you a little reverse a little bit. So let's talk about the staff. So at what point you were mainly doing administrative stuff for LSPD? Did you apply? Did Tony say, hey, we would like Mikey to be in this position of staff, or how did that work for you?
So at the time when LSPD was being formed, again, remember, the size of the server was much, smaller. And so at the time, the majority of the people that was in LSPD was staff.
Mm-hmm.
So we had people that were holding different, ranks and roles. And I was asked to start helping with media. Basically, at that time, it was more. We only had select few streamers at the time, but it was more in like promoting how can we grow TARP, that type of thing. So I was kind of pulled into that. It was just a basic staff level with media, and then it also was growing into helping Tony with his personal stuff, and growing his stream, growing his social media. His brand, type thing. And so that kind of aligned at the same time. And as we were quickly growing,
Sonderman, thank you for that resubscription, man. We appreciate that. Thank you.
We would see the big influx of people that were applying and wanting to join. I, at the same time that I was chief, I also was ended up being the senior admin over the media department.
Okay. So you were really just kind of part of the media department, and then kind of as you're helping do personal stuff, you became senior admin over media at that point. Okay. And then I'm not going to get into the weeds, but we had some clearing house at kind of the upper levels of TARP. And so once that happened, is that the point that you became deputy director?
So I actually had stepped away from my senior admin position, focusing on just Tony stuff.
Okay.
Right? So, we were sending out, the the journey that many people have followed, Tony in trying to get his ended up getting his Ghost, sponsorship.
Sure.
That was something that was really important to him. So we were doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and reaching out, trying to do video promotions, reaching out to different companies. We were also collectively working, to try to grow the actual foundation so that he could make the mission come true, and actually doing stuff out in the community with the ice cream event and the bicycle event, that kind of stuff. So we worked on that for several months in the background, and to be honest, that was just it was too much at that time, right? To try to run a department. I was also starting to stream around that time, and the focus was really on the mission and growing the foundation.
Yeah. Okay. And so, maybe I missed it. So at that point is when you became deputy director?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So when there was a change, I had already become,
you were already
manager,
working. Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Manager of Tony's business and with the foundation.
Sure.
And then at that time, it just really it made sense.
It was natural.
We
Yeah.
work well. I have the mission at the forefront. I just told somebody earlier today, if this was just a video game, I would not be here. I would not be in this, in
Sure.
this position.
Yeah.
Take on
No. Sure.
that
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of us, right? I mean, like, I
Yep.
think Smitty comes from somewhat of a gaming background. He did some gaming stuff. He also did on his TikTok. But I mean, Bobby, like, I know you weren't a gamer.
Not
Like
at all.
a lot of us, like, if it if it were just
I used to
a
laugh
game,
at people that watch people play video games. I'm like, what? You've got to get a life, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're just watching stuff, and then now I'm like, I get it. I mean, this is a video game, but it's not. I mean, people are here for, and that's how I was the same way as you. I got hooked on Tony. I was like, this is wild.
Well,
And it wasn't just the video game. The video game was awesome. JJ Gibbons, all that was
JoJo,
great.
thank you
The
for that
storyline's great, but it
resubscription
was
for
more
1
than
month.
that.
Thank you.
And it was what really got me hooked.
That's crazy that you say that, because I didn't know anything about people watching video games until I saw it in 2020, because there was nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was working the street that time, and my partner, I pull up. He's like, "Hey, you know how cops are. Hey, meet me back here. I'm just hanging out." So I go back there and I pull up. He's watching some guy play a video. I'm like, "What are you doing?" It was like Tim the Tatman or Nick Merckx or whatever, the big timers, like real big, And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm just watching them play." I'm like, "People do this?" And then so he's like, "Pull it up." So I pulled up on my little laptop, and then I was hooked. But then probably a month, maybe less than that, of watching them, I told my wife, I was like, "I got to get a PC." And the time, it's like, didn't really have the extra to do it, but I'm like, well, let's crunch here and crunch here and crunch here so I can get one. And then next thing you know, I mean, I got it, and here we are today. But Bobby noticed it, but once I started watching, I was kind of hooked instant. But it's crazy how you knew about it, and you're like, "Nah, that's dumb."
Yeah, all my cousins,
my
cousins are big on it. They're big into the game. Anytime we had family gatherings that happened to be held at their house, they're in the corner with their headphones on, exactly what I'm doing right now. And I'm like, "What? Come on, man! Like we got to do something else here, right? Like let's mow the yard or something. Like what are we doing?" And then, but man, I'm hooked, and I can watch other people now. I can watch other people. You gotta be able to relate. I think is what it comes down to. Is you got to be able to relate to that person in some form, and that's how it was with Tony and the whole mission for me, anyways. I just thought it was great. There's a bigger picture here than just playing a video game.
Yeah,
like you said, I wouldn't be here if you weren't. If it wasn't.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too that is very special that you don't realize until you get in here is there is a sense of family, right? And there's a sense of escape from what's going on. I get mad at myself. If I don't get in and even if I'm not streaming, just to get into the city and play and have a good time, because afterwards I'm like, God, I needed that. It just takes you away from everything else. And then I literally, and there's people in this community that I talk to more than people that I've known my whole life, or people that live here where I live.
I've dropped a lot of people my whole life.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm just like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like you guys, I've met some really core members of my life and my newfound family here. My best friends in the world are in this server. I mean, it's just it's wild. You would I would if you would have told me that, I'd have laughed in your face 3 years ago. I'm like, "Dude, you're crazy."
No,
But
that's true. Like that's what when people get to talk, I'm like, my best friends don't even live around here. I got some of my core friends here, but I'm like, they're all over. So like whenever we go on these trips or whatever, and people's like, who you going with? I'm like, well, I got a guy from Delaware, Alabama, Wisconsin, West Virginia. Like, I mean, we're just everywhere, but and they don't really understand. But I'm like, God, telling you, I don't know. You just once you're in, you in.
You're
But
going to West Virginia for bicycle?
For
Is
ice
it ice
creams?
cream and bicycles, or what is it?
oh yeah,
Okay, so let me jump us back. So at that point, we've got up to your deputy director, and so you're managing Tony. You're also doing the Serve First Foundation stuff too, right?
Right.
So and then I think it was, what was it? It was just kind of a discussion amongst the top as the server grew. Like, hey, we got to figure out how to kind of spread some people at the top out. And we needed Trav kind of in the dev world, really. And is that kind of how you kind of went ahead and just made the jump to that director spot?
Yeah, that played into it during last year. If you remember, in the fall time, we made the jump from to a brand new server box. We brought in a whole lot of other different things that we didn't have. And the amount or the rate, I guess I should say, the rate that we were growing, we knew that this is going to continue, right? And we wanted it to continue. And Tony was looking at where can we put people that bring the best value and also not burn anybody out.
Right.
The other thing that played a part in that too is I had some IRL things that had happened. My dad had passed away unexpectedly, which brought me back to West Virginia. And running the business, being a part of the foundation, and TARP, with Tony and I being right here together, it kind of also just made sense, right? That we were able to, that when I moved into that director's position, that we had more open communication, and could work together to get some things done.
Yeah, and I think as a staff member for TARP, it helped to, like you said, kind of open communication amongst everybody, help everybody kind of, because I mean it's hard to communicate to how many staff members we got now?
Oh,
over 100.
Oh yeah.
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 So it's hard to be able to have a mouthpiece and communicate from the top to over 100 people that really need to know things, that left in the dark. So it's not a good look for the staff to be left in the dark, a lot of times. So I think that, so that was definitely a good move there. Okay. So now that we've got you to the director part at staff, so you became the chief of police at LSPD. What happened after that? Because you stayed chief of LSPD for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I was.
As far as your characters go.
Yeah, I would say probably a good 6 months, and but the whole plan during that time was really a transition. Right, to finish up some stuff that Stephen and Tony both had, planned for the department. And to continue to grow it, to grow some of the specialties, the air and the SWAT and all that kind of stuff, get it all lined up, and then build a command staff that could take that over, because the intention was never for me to be there long term.
So Braden had a good question earlier. As director, do you do any dev work? You're talking about the different subdivisions, air. I know you had to get a helicopter and that kind of. Do you do any dev work when it comes to the server side?
No hands-on dev work. We there's a lot of things that goes on as discussed in the background. We some of the things that we've brought on, and I want to jump too far, but we have a contracted developer that helps our development team with us growing. So again, there's a lot of that stuff in the background that we work together. I need to obviously be a part of
for
those
sure.
conversations and understand some of the things that we can do better, and then that's where from the business side, that Tony and I have to rely on these folks to make things happen and give good direction to.
Yeah, and that makes sense. You definitely want to be part of that conversation, but leave the I's and O's to the guys who know how to do it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so now that you're chief, because you stepped down as chief last year, right? It wasn't too long ago.
So I actually went from chief to
deputy chief. Okay,
and at the time promoted the deputy chief up. So I again was kind of there as a transition, make sure everything was good, help them, let them build their staff and their department, and from there, the character had I had a big fall actually, and went into a coma. And when I came back out, that's when it turned into young cop to commander that was old and retired and went to the reserve side.
Yes, and that's the character that we know and love, and I love how you develop that because now you got people that come along with you and help you out on your stream. Okay, so now let's talk about streaming. At what point did you become a streamer? At what point did you say, "Hey, I think I really want to get into the streaming side myself"?
So I, again, had no idea what streaming was, what it meant. I started watching streamers after I found Tony, kind of like Smitty. Like I was blown away that people were paying to watch streams, and that they were gifting and doing stuff, like that. I was like, there's like this whole other world, that I had no idea about.
Pixie Queen, let's go. Thank you for that resubscription.
Then you like
y'all been with us for 4 months. We appreciate it.
On TV, like they're so good at what they do. Hammer was one of those, that when I started watching Hammer and interacting or seeing him interact in like multiple different characters, I was blown away that you could remove yourself from doing one thing and go to something else and be so good at it. But I wanted to stream 911. I wanted people to understand what 911 is, why they ask the questions
Steven
they ask,
coming in with the 3 months.
what they try to do to help the first responders, the field responders. I wanted them to have a better sense of that because it was personal to me. It's the people that's often forgotten, that is really important to every single emergency that happens. And so I wanted to bring some awareness to that and try to help people understand what 911 was.
And so as a character, that kind of brings you up to where you're at today, right? And so that brings your character kind of merges the stream in, and you just keep building and creating content and in your spare time, right? Just as a hobby.
right. No, yeah, it's funny. I did the 911 streams, and that's something that has kind of fell off. That I tell myself, I'm like, God, you need to get in and do a 911 stream, again, because people there. I know that there's people out there. There's people that that I see in all of the other streamers, that's like they love when dispatch is on, right? And that's a big part of the RP, being able to do that. But it grew the 911 character, it grew the commander character, and then I really, other notably, I had a character back in I think like 2.0 that was Wendell, and he had a couple of cousins that was the country, kind of I don't know, just a screw up. He went through a whole phase of trying to find a job, and he got fired every job that he was at. And so he took a long nap, and he's back now, trying to make it in Sadot, and it's different, for me. And I'm curious, Smitty, especially for you, like coming from the law enforcement side, the emergency service side, the professional side, and for me, it was really difficult to be a criminal or to try to do like crime stuff or stuff that was off the wall because I felt like I needed to be like so serious. I didn't know how to how to do stuff. Part of it too was I didn't know how to like rob a darn store or anything.
Right.
But it was a different mindset, and really the commander character and being able just to kind of be silly and senile and have fun with it is really what kind of got me to relax to realize how to do somebody like Wendell, that I could have fun with.
It's my dad's name.
Is it really?
Yeah. You're the only other Wendell I've ever met.
Stepdad.
That's what I was kind of thinking. Dad? Dad, is that you?
Oh, that's good.
Sometimes you got to feel that way, right?
Right.
You have to.
Yeah, and this will be a theme that plays over and over again, but like what we do in city, it's just a release. It's just something that kind of helps you like take the pressures of your day and forget it for a couple hours, and then you're kind of recharged for the next day. It's really neat like that. Okay, so let's jump to the Serve First Foundation. When did that start? At what point was Tony like, hey, I kind of want to do something here. I kind of want to do an ice cream event. Like, were you involved in the first ice cream event? Just kind of walk us through the initial part of the Serve First Foundation.
So I was helping in the background during that time. I actually did not get to go to the first event. We were a part of the planning in that, and the success from that first event, and then a few months later, because that was in the fall. A few months later, the bicycle event. It was so successful that's when really Tony kind of started to realize that there was an opportunity here to spread the mission and the message that truly was meaningful to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, there was a lot of things in the world that was changing for perception of police, changing perception from the community of emergency services, period.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw that now's an opportunity, that I can try to use his position as a police officer, which, if you don't know, he did every single day when he was out there. I would be, on the phone with him at 2 a.m. On a night shift, and somebody would either come up and try to get his attention and be like, "Are you Officer Messer?" And he would talk about that kind of thing, or if there was a kid that was in trouble, a family that needed something, the schools were calling him, people in the community were calling him, because they knew that that's what was important to him, and that he would do whatever he could to help them. And so that's really we started growing that back in early 2022, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to get all of that together. And since then, after that focus, and the other thing that I think, I wasn't there for the first bicycle event either, but he tells the story all the time of when they were delivering the bikes, and they actually went to some houses and delivered those bicycles, and realized that was the only Christmas that was there for those kids.
Yeah.
And so from that, and from the community support, it was the priority from that, that's the most important part. The video games here, the server is here, but being able to spread this message through the server, through the streams, through our content creators, that was the bigger picture.
Yeah, that's cool. So after that first year kind of kicked off, so you weren't there for the first year of the ice cream event but you were helping in kind of getting things organized and that kind of thing. Right. So the second ice cream event, go ahead, Smitty.
Did I miss it? When was the first one? Because I didn't make it to the first one. What year was that?
So that would have been 2021.
21.
Okay.
Was yep.
Okay.
And then so 22 rolls around, and then you made it to 22 to both events of 22.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that happened, and then in 23, which was last year,
Mm-hmm.
it was truly the two biggest events that we've had. They grew considerably, not
That
just
was
in
awesome.
yeah, not just I mean from the staff level. I mean we had I don't remember now. I want to think 40. I think it was about 40 people
Mm-hmm.
that between staff members and some of their families that ended up coming to it. The ice cream event, we served over 500 ice cream cones.
That's awesome.
And then and then with the bicycle event, we actually had to talk about like working with some solid, reputable
Mm-hmm.
folks to in order that we were doing right by the foundation, we were doing right by the people that were supporting it, and making sure that we were getting things out there. And that was a cool event. That was the first time that it was. We held that, as you know, at the baseball stadium. The local minor league team here provided for those kids, and I want to make sure that I say this, that I saw at both events last year, in particular, and then things that we've been doing, ever since then. It wasn't just the bicycle event and the ice cream event last year.
Mm-hmm.
We made a big donation to a local toy drive.
I was about to bring
We
that up.
actually,
I was about to bring that
yeah,
up because, and I don't mean to cut you off, but there's a
yeah,
lot of things that are not like those are the two highlighted events.
Mm-hmm.
you're right,
But there's a
right,
lot of things that go unnoticed and under the table, like not under the table. That sounds terrible, but that aren't just they're not promoted
They're
because
not
it's not like a big
broadcasting.
gathering. Yeah, they're not broadcast.
right,
That's the word I was looking for. I didn't mean to
right.
cut you off, but I was going to touch on
Yeah.
that. So I mean, it's really awesome. Keep going, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we that was a big thing. We did go to we made the donation to that toy drive. That was open to underprivileged families or anybody that like, hey, I need some help at Christmas. It didn't matter. And so they applied. We actually went to that event that evening. We also did some other things too. We shipped some bikes to people in other parts of the country. Again, there's a lot of times that requests come in for things, and we've got to be able to validate that, and ensure that we can do what we can do, but also be protective of the foundation and the people that support it. But through some of that, outreach of programs, we found some other areas that we were able to help in. The big thing is, and you guys, I'm sure, heard it and have heard it, is when we're at these events and pictures come up on social media, and of course it's Tony's mission. He's out there. He needs to be in front of it. The thing that he always says at all of these events, and when people are coming up and saying thank you, he says, "This isn't me. This is my community. This is the people that that watch me stream. This is the people that's in TARP." So it's always ensuring that the people that do support the server, that do support our content creators, that they know that, hey, this is where there's all these people out here, for a kid to know that, hey, I'm getting a bicycle,
Mm-hmm.
and a police officer is also trying to help me, but that to know that there was all these people in the background and across the world that made that happen, I think is pretty cool.
It's awesome. It's awesome. And I mean,
Yeah.
you guys even get other departments that are reaching out now,
Right.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
which is wild. I mean, that speaks volumes of the outreach that TARP and Serve First has done. I think
Yeah.
it's awesome.
We definitely want to, again, it's one of those things that has grown very, very fast, and to ensure that we do the right things, and that we're meeting, the mission. It takes a lot of planning and stuff in the background. But we are growing. We also you guys were a part of the. We made a donation to the local soup kitchen here, right?
KC, thank you so
And
much for that tier one
everybody, you know,
sub. We
took
greatly
that as a
appreciate
volunteer
that, man.
time.
Appreciate it.
I threw that on them kind of at the last minute. Said, "Oh yeah, you're coming to the bicycle event, but by the way, we're also going to go serve food and work at a soup kitchen for a few hours." And you know, obviously, everybody was like, "Let's go!" You know, let's do it. But that's some of the things that we're trying to grow and to add to it, and eventually, you know, start branching out and trying to support some of the local communities that our members are a part of, and help give back in that way too.
Let's talk about some of the things that are happening this year. So you've already got some plans out. I know that you've kind of pushed that out to the staff and it's like, hey, we've got some things. Tell us what you can talk to us about, because you've got an event coming up this month possibly, or
Oh yeah,
I got you.
We did.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
we
got you.
did.
I got you.
So we planned a kickball tournament,
Okay.
Kick for Kids, and that was going to be to support local schools. You know, a lot of teachers, and again, until you know get into it, or maybe if you have kids and you realize it through the teachers, but there's a lot of teachers that have, you know, closets or pantries of their own that they try to support kids in their class, non-perishable foods, you know, ensure that they have something to take home for the weekend, you know, different items, supplies that they need. And we also learned through the bicycle event last year of after school programs that do the same things, kind of like what I think it was called, like Latch Kids, right? You know, like where kids need to go after school until mom and dad or you know, a family member gets off work that they can go home. We wanted to help support some of those places too. Unfortunately, we didn't get enough teams put together. And you know, it's hard.
That's hard.
We were targeting, yeah, we were targeting for emergency services to participate, and you know, everybody knows that you know, one, they're busy. Two, it's hard to get, you know, people to volunteer, and it was a big undertaking for that. But we're not going to give up on that.
Sure.
We're
Okay.
going to try to plan that at a different time of the year. Maybe not during summer, right when you know, vacations were starting.
Everybody's getting out of school and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
or the sun comes up.
Right. But
I mean,
we
let's do that during the winter. I'll come play.
but we're still going to follow through with our plan.
Cool.
So we're actually still going to be donating money to some of the school programs and after school programs, and of course that'll be out on the Surfers Foundation social media.
And before you jump to August and ice cream and give us some details about that, let's talk about the Ghost thing. So Ghost reached out to you. How did that come about?
So Tony was I can't even say that the whole point of it. He tried Ghost first and fell in love with it. And he was using energy drinks and you know, working night shift, and he was like, man, this doesn't make me crash, and they taste so good. And he started talking about it on his stream, you know, was even saying like, hey, this is not paid sponsorship, I just want to let you guys know, like, you know, this is what I love. And so after a while that we were posting videos and things of that nature, Ghost actually reached out and said, hey, we'd like to have a conversation with you. And we sat down with them. What started out is, you know, hey, we love your content. You're funny. You know, we appreciate all the, you know, promotion that you've done for us. We'd like to bring you on, you know, as one of our, what they call legends for gaming. And we started doing that. And what's really cool is a lot of the people within Ghost watch Tony's stream, and they now watch most of TARP streamers.
Yeah.
And they know who the characters are. When we have our calls with them or our reviews, you know, they're talking about,
Williams, thank you for that 1 month subscription. Thank you.
And they became very invested in what our mission was as well. They do a lot behind the scenes and in other areas of the country where they support emergency services, and through this, they wanted, you know, to be a part of it. And we had an opportunity, or Tony had an opportunity a couple years ago to do a stream for Gamers Outreach.
Mm-hmm.
And when we learned what Gamers Outreach was, that was very successful. He was able to do that. You know, we were so excited about go-karts going to children's hospitals. And last year, you know, Ghost reached out and was like, "Hey, we're now going to partner with Gamers Outreach, and we want to try something new." And they had never reached out to or worked with a gaming server with streamers who were not already partnered with them or under contract, right?
Mhm.
You know, it's a big brand. You got to make sure that you're doing the right things and promoting the right stuff. But from what they witnessed through TARP and through our streamers, they entrusted us to be a part of something even bigger with them and Gamers Outreach.
Yeah, and that was cool, man. That was just a
Yeah.
cool event. You know, like just being able to kind of watch, you know, each streamer throughout the night and the money just come, you know, continue to come in. I mean, it's a testament to the community. You know, not only can we back, you know, helping provide ice cream and to mend maybe a fence that may be up between a child and a, you know, emergency service person. Not only can we help out at Christmas time, where we want to help provide bicycles to underprivileged kids that may be their only Christmas present. Not only can we push other things, but you know what? We're gonna put gaming carts in children's hospital. It just gives me chills to think about and how cool of a thing that is. And it, you know, not only it was cool, but it was also cool to have the Bash Brothers involved in that too. And so
Right.
I think they were excited about being able to kind of jump in on one of those things.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
nervous. Very nervous.
very nervous.
I've never been really, other than like maybe probably my first time streaming, but I had like my only self watching. There was nobody watching when I first started streaming, but that was the first time in a long time that I hit go live but even before I hit go live, and I'm like, oh, I'm nervous.
Here we
I mean,
go.
palms are sweating, and it's like I don't even know why, but I was very nervous that night, very nervous.
I was too.
I mean, it was
You don't,
just,
you don't, you want to do your part. That's the biggest thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know how that's gonna go. That's where I stood with it. I was nervous, man. My feet were shaking the whole time,
Mhm.
and it was just
It was
awesome.
wild.
It's so awesome.
And then when you start looking, like, I mean, it was going crazy over here, going crazy over there, and you're just looking at everybody, and it's just like, what is going on right now? This is
Yeah.
wild. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was awesome. I saw a comment earlier in chat that asked about, do we have an update on the cart situation? I don't know if you can talk about that or not, but if you want to maybe tell the chat about the update and how that's going.
Yeah. So actually, 2 weeks ago, not this past week, but the week before, Gamers Outreach reached out. They have the I'll call them the placard that's going to go on each of the carts that has the TARP logo on it, has our name, and you know that it's being donated by the Academy Roleplay, and those were finished, so those are going on. It takes a few weeks. These carts are built, right,
Mhm.
and so they've got to get those built, and then they will be shipping those out. I'm expecting that by the first part of June was kind of the target date that we would start seeing those go out. And the cool thing that I know you and Smitty and Bobby, you both know, is that there's going to be an opportunity for all of those content creators that helped do that they're actually going to get to go to a children's hospital if it's local and they're able to do that, to present those on behalf of TARP. And
Very excited.
that's going to be
Very
really, really
excited.
cool. Yeah.
Well, and what was cool is I knew which one that I would have recommended. The one I did recommend. I was there the end of last year with my son, and I thought, my son, for those of y'all that don't know, was born with like a extra pinky, but it wasn't really. It was just like some cartilage or whatever, and I was freaking out. Right, like this is terrible. We got to get him taken care of, And then I go to this hospital, and in the grand scheme of things, really not that big of a deal. And so when this happened, I look online, and they're on the waiting list, so they've already put their names in with Gamers Outreach to get one of these carts, and the fact that TARP was able to do what TARP did is absolutely wild. Because I saw a lot of kids in there that could really benefit off of a Gamers Outreach cart, and the fact that we're able to provide that, and who knows how long that would take being on the waiting list. You know what I mean? Who knows how long they've been waiting, how long they requested these things, and the fact that TARP's able to provide that is, it's a tearjerker. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. And just to sorry, Mikey, not to cut you off, but just to answer some questions, the streamers got to kind of round up some hospitals in their area. So we're not sure 100% which ones they're going to go to, but they were able to list out some near them. So you may see some pictures and stuff. For somebody asked, hey, how do we watch that stream? There were multiple streams. So I think it would be down the VOD list, and they may already be gone at this point, but there were 6 or 7 streamers involved from TARP. So it was a huge deal. Okay, Mikey, let's carry on. So we've got August coming up. Tell us about Ice Cream Event 2024. What can we be looking for? What's going to be, what can you share right now that the people want to hear?
So August the 10th, Saturday, noon to 4, it's going to be at the Shawnee Sports Complex here in Dunbar, West Virginia, which is a little bit bigger area than what we had last year, because this year we definitely have taken a few notches up. So we obviously are going to have free ice cream. We locked in the awesome folks from last year's Rhododendron ice cream here in Parkersburg, West Virginia. They were phenomenal to work with. They were so excited to do it. Great ladies. So they're going to be back for it. We are going to have a meet your streamer area. So last year, which was just mind blown, we had people travel from Washington State, from South Carolina. I believe there was somebody from Mississippi. We had people that came in just to meet some of our streamers, and we never really thought about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That there's such a a connection, and that they believe in the mission, and they want to meet people from TARP. So this year we're going to have an actual setup that our content creators that are coming in, if they want to participate, we'll have a booth set up for them. People can go and talk to them about it. We've got a couple of things we might do with some giveaways with that. We also are going to have I've named it Hammer Games.
There we go.
The Hammers are going to provide games this year for us. So Mrs. Hammer is leading that up. So I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun.
That's
we
awesome.
have a the guys probably don't know this yet, but what I'm going to consider as part of the contract of coming to the event is there's a dunk tank. And so I think there should be a requirement.
I agree. I like this.
Your chat can vote on that. But we're going to have a dunk tank that we'll have some folks in. We're also going to have what's called like a smokehouse trailer. So it's a trailer that
Tristan, thank you for that resubscription with Prime.
What to do in a fire, how to stay low to the ground. And so that's going to be set up there. We'll obviously have a bunch of emergency service vehicles set up there, and a couple other things that we're working on that hasn't been signed in yet, but some entertainment that we're going to try to bring in this year too.
That'll be really cool. Really cool. Yeah. So just taking it up another notch from last year, and keeping things going. Bobby, everybody wants you in the dunk tank, man.
Yeah, Tony touched on that last podcast. He said that they were putting my butt up there, and I agreed. I mean, listen, West Virginia in the summer, you're not going to have to convince me to get up there too much. I'll probably be up there. You may have to convince me to let somebody else get up there. I mean, and if not, I'll stay in the tank and I'll help people get out.
Get in and out.
I'll just be the in and out guy.
You'll be the tank attendant.
Yeah.
We're also not going to have black T-shirts this year. So
that's genius. Genius. Don't do white either if we're doing the dunk tank. Please, for the love of God, let's save everybody.
We'll have Bobby and Smitty in the wet T-shirt contest later.
Yes. That's another one we could add to the games,
There
the
we go.
Hammers
There
games.
we go.
I think I'm taking that dub.
Yeah, it's for the kids, right? It's for the
Right,
kids.
right.
Genius.
I mean, when he said no black shirts, my mind said, "Oh, we got white shirts." I mean, it went straight to it. It's gonna be white. We're in trouble, boys.
Man, this is good.
That's good stuff.
Okay, let's round out the year, and then I want to get, before we close everything out, I want to talk about Mikey, IRL Mikey, outside of TARP. Like, let's get the lowdown on Mikey, but let's finish out the year. So we've got, that's in August. What have you got planned for the fall into the winter?
So right after we do that, typically right now, or at least tentatively, we have another, hopefully, another fundraiser with Gamers Outreach that'll happen closer to like the Thanksgiving time. It's usually like right between Halloween and Thanksgiving. And then with that will be fundraising for the bicycle event. And so the cool thing about that is we our primary, which has been a partner since this has really started, has been the Boys and Girls Club. And so we work with them to identify families that we can help. We last year started reaching out to some of the schools and after school programs. That's where you saw some of the other bicycles and things that went out, and then across the country that we sent. So that will obviously grow, but that all of that will happen in that late fall, early winter, and then bicycle event will again be just right before Christmas.
Be the big
Bicycle
year,
event's
the
game
big
changer,
year
man.
ender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and
I'm
kind of
telling you, seen those kids.
kind of the same concept for the bicycle event. Are we teaming up again with the minor league
We are.
team?
Yeah,
Okay.
as far as I know, yeah. As far as
Good,
I
I
know,
need more
we're
hats.
gonna be we're gonna be back there, and hopefully, maybe get to do a little something even bigger for those that are attending while we're there at that stadium. I don't know if anybody got to go or saw inside that stadium, but they had the like the Festival of Lights
Yes.
that was set up. That was pretty cool, and all the kids got to go to that for free. The
That's
minor
cool.
league team, they paid for all those kids and their families to go for that night.
Is that what
So,
did they know they were getting bikes?
no. Well, I'll rephrase. Some of them did, and some of them didn't. It was more of they knew they were coming there to go to the light thing and ride the slide or slide down the slide and ride the Ferris wheel and all that. But some of them did not know that they were
I
going
could
home
tell
with a bicycle.
a lot really didn't know. It was kind of maybe their parents kept it a secret
Yeah.
or something, but man, their
If you-
faces were wow.
Yeah, and if you notice there, what was kind of funny is we actually had a family that came that I believe maybe what had happened was originally the whoever the caretaker was that was going to bring them couldn't come, but they had a family member that brought them, and then they were like, oh. We have to get a bicycle home. we can't do that. So our TARP folks helped transport some bikes back to some people's houses that day.
I didn't even know
That's so
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to kind of explain, so the minor league park, which a lot of parks do this around the country, is during the wintertime they have like this big festival of lights, which is like a walk-through light exhibit. But not only that, there's like food, there's like hot chocolate, there's ice skating. Like, it's a big event. And I don't think we realized what we were stepping into. But we made sure that we kind of, checked it out as we were carrying bikes in and out, helping load cars and stuff. But yeah, man, that's a really, really, really cool thing.
Yeah, for sure. And it was exciting too. The other thing, that we did earlier that day was we took several bikes to one of the local police departments. And they had worked with some of their schools and identified some folks, and so the police department actually got to take those bikes and deliver it out to them there too. So I'm sure that we'll be teaming up with anybody that that we can to help identify where it's best served.
That guy at Walmart was was a hero too.
He was a
Uh,
champ.
That guy was awesome.
yeah. We that was three trips, I think it was, all together from the after school program, the police department's donation, and then the donation at the Boys and Girls Club. I think we made 3 trips up there, and they were incredible.
They were awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because y'all did some to the school was the day before, right? Or maybe a couple days before?
A couple days before, that
Yeah.
Wednesday, before we did the after school program. Yep.
I mean, it was a solid 3 days of just delivering bikes, and
Yeah.
it's
They,
awesome. It's awesome.
It was cool though. Like you said, the big thing is was seeing those kids' faces and the excitement. I'd be remiss to say too that one of the local hospitals here, it's West Virginia University Thomas Memorial, they donated bicycle helmets
Yes.
to every kid. So
Each kid.
that was something they reached out and was like, hey, they saw that we were doing this. So they came to the after school program, the police department, and to the baseball field, and donated bicycle helmets on their own.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
We were fitting the kids, getting them all fitted up. And, I mean, some of them were some little kids, and so they had this big helmet on, and they were just grinning from ear to ear, walking their new bike out. I mean, it was awesome. It was very rewarding, and we were, you guys worked your tails off. We kind of just showed up to help with what we could, but the build up was wild.
Yeah, we get to reap the benefits of y'all's hard work. So
100%. That's what I was trying to say it in a way where it didn't sound too bad. But yeah, we definitely did.
All right, let's get into Mikey. Let's get into Mikey, not the TARP Mikey, not the director of Serve First Mikey. So tell us about yourself. Where did you said you lived in South Carolina, but you're from West Virginia. Did you grow up in West Virginia?
Sure did.
Okay.
Yep. Grew up in West Virginia. I moved to South Carolina in 2018, around July or January, and that was all work. So I started if I have worked in or with emergency services now for 23, 24 years. I worked in 911. I was a volunteer fireman. I was a EMT. I was a county medical examiner for 3 years.
That's cool.
West Virginia, if you're a licensed medical provider, you go take a certifying exam, one of the hardest things I ever did. So I was a medical examiner for 3 years. Worked in 911, emergency management, was the director of 911 for a county here in West Virginia. And then I went to the private side where I actually sold 911 equipment, so phone systems and different things like that. I did that for close to 6 years. I did selling, and it ended up being a national director of sales, which took me to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Okay.
And I was in Myrtle Beach for close to 6 years, and in that time, right around the time, right before I moved back here in West Virginia, actually March was a year that I've been back in West Virginia. I switched to another company, and I right now basically with that I help oversee 911 service to some specific areas, and I work with state level government contracts to see those contracts through.
So how did you what was your first foray into that, like the emergency services side of things? So like the first 911 call was like made 30 miles away from my house in Haleyville, Alabama, like the smallest town on the map. Okay. So like that's their big thing. 911, we created it or whatever. So like how did you get into that side of things? Like what did you just like, hey, I think this will be a cool job. Let me go like apply. Like what was how did you get into it?
This is kind of, I guess, maybe like the unbelievable part, because I don't know anybody else that would ever have done this. As a kid, so I was fascinated with emergency services from a kid. I love seeing fire trucks, police cars, ambulances. My grandma worked in the hospital. My mom worked in the hospital, so I was around, kind of like that atmosphere a lot. Anytime that I'd hear the fire whistle go off, I'd beg whoever I was with to take me out so I could see the trucks going. Yeah. And my grandparents had a scanner that they listened to the 911 calls. And my grandpa worked in the he didn't work in the mines, but he worked at a coal tipple
Okay.
back in the day, and he had a CB radio at his house. And my dad was a coal truck driver, so that was a big thing. Like they, use that to communicate, talk during the day. And I would sit at my grandparents' house and listen to the scanner, and I learned all of the 10 codes, all of the signal codes, and I would sit back there and talk on the CB that was turned off, like I was the dispatcher. So when whatever
Cool.
they said, I repeated it, and eventually got to they had an old a recorder that I would sit and record myself and then listen back to that. So I always knew from a kid that I wanted to be a dispatcher or work in emergency services.
Yeah.
And when I was 17, I joined as like a junior volunteer with the local emergency squad, washing ambulances and sweeping the floor at the building just so that I could get in and start that career.
That's wild.
As soon as I turned in.
That's cool. So did you eventually work for that department?
I did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Was a volunteer there and then became a paid staff there as well.
That's
Okay.
so awesome.
So what are you doing now?
So now full time, I work for this company working with the state level contracts for
Okay.
911 service, what's called Next Generation 911.
Okay.
I also own my own business. So I do small website design, social media posting and stuff for specifically for small businesses. So
Yeah,
I have
okay.
11 of those right now that I work with. And
That's cool.
yeah, and then outside of that, it's TARP, baby. That's what we do.
Rocking and rolling. All right.
What's up?
So we got to ask you, it's come up in chat. Are you in a relationship? Are you single, ready to mingle?
You know what's just so funny? I just looked down in
You
Bash
knew that
Brothers
was-
podcast and saw Shot at Love, and I was like, "This is going to come
You
up."
knew
isn't
this
it?
was coming,
This is gonna come up. I am. Yeah. No, actually, I am. I am single to mingle.
Single, ready to mingle.
Single,
All
ready to
right.
mingle. So we got to get you on a shot of love.
I'm not sure where I'm going to fit you in from the 4 a.m. until the 11 p.m.
That's right.
But yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
that's good stuff.
Well, Mikey, man, thank you for joining us. So here, one thing I want to do is I want to kind of like this to be like a recurring thing. I want to hit you multiple times a year so that we can kind of talk about things that are coming up. There's going to be updates on things. There's going to be things that, people ask, so I kind of want to keep that going. And kind of keep a open line of communication so that we can help kind of, get things out there with a little bit more detail than just a Discord post or something like that. People can see the Mikey behind the post and hear the sincerity behind what's going on. And so, man, we can't thank you enough for being here. I think it's really painted a good picture for people as to who you are, but also as to kind of the inner workings, pulling back the curtain a little bit. As to how Serve First goes and TARP goes. So we appreciate that, man.
No, I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you. I mean, seriously, the three of you and so many others that do so much behind the scenes. It's not just always on camera, right? There's a lot of stuff that happens. The amount of volunteers that we have that make things work and they give up all their free time to believe in this. I can't be thankful enough. So I appreciate you all too.
Yeah,
Well,
man.
Yeah, we're very, very thankful for you, man. You do a lot for real. And we
Thanks, bro.
appreciate you for that.
Absolutely. So, well, folks, everybody just pay attention. We're Tuesday night at 9:00 from here until you hear different from us. Stay tuned. Next Tuesday night, we've got Marshmallows, one of the ambassador streamers from TARP, going to come in and join us. We may have to all kind of put some padding in our headphones right here because she can get a little bit loud. No, I'm just kidding. She's awesome.
said,
But you can. Hey, you can hear her. You can hear her when she's on a stream. Like, wait,
I hate loud people.
Oh, don't worry about that. This is
I hate loud people.
That's smart. Hey,
I just can't deal with
it's
it.
marshmallows. So no, so we're excited to have her on next week, and she'll be here. We may get into get into some of the KJ and Smitty stuff and try to get behind what's really going on there. So
Oh boy,
who knows what's happening
I don't know what
there.
you're talking about.
So anyway, we appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate y'all tuning in and hanging out with us. We look forward to seeing y'all next week. And again, thank you, Mikey, for being here. Love you guys.
Appreciate it. Love y'all.